Hey everyone, and welcome back to the United Star. I am Atanu Wadhwa, and I am joined by Vicky, who's an avid Manchester United fan. She follows the men's team and the women's team, and you can see, in the photographs that the official account or the MUWSC or All for United WFC post, you can see Vicky in the stands, singing, chanting, and supporting our players and the manager and the team as a whole. Welcome to the channel, Vicky. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you very much, Atano. It's nice to be on. It's the first time I spoke to you like this, even though we've known each other for a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's the first time that we are conversing face to face, and it's always a pleasure to talk to fellow fans and who like to talk about women's football. So Vicky, last game 1-1 draw, not at all convincing, not at all super comfortable, like Mark Skinner said. It wasn't even
No,
comfortable. I wouldn't even use the word super, but he used the word super. So uh, like only the positives, like I'd like to list down the positives first. I think Alessia Russo goal was amazing.
yeah,
Ella Toon got another assist. We saw Mary Earps at her A game, like she always is, the best shot stopper in the WSL, and that's the reason why she's the England number one. So Vicky, what do you think of the game?
I like you say, all the positives you've just highlighted there, and for me, it was fantastic to see Hayley Ladd back. I think in a game against Spurs like that, you need a Hayley Ladd. And I found it quite amusing because she's just solid, isn't she? The Spurs players are bouncing off there and she's like coming away unscathed. I'm like, God, she's indestructible. But you need a player like that who's going to put your foot in. I don't understand why we played with two deep lying midfielders because we ended up with this massive gap then between them and Ella Toon and Russo, really. And the wingers kept getting isolated just because we didn't play to our strengths. And I bet Rianne Skinner was just like rubbing her hands together, thinking, "This is perfect for us. We can frustrate them." They took some speculative long shots, didn't they? Which, to be fair, were good. Mary had to, like you say, Mary. I think. I mean, in the past, I've probably been critical about Mary's like distribution in the kicking, but I think even all that has improved vastly. But a shot stopping, second to none, and I felt really sorry for Mary at the end with that conceding that goal because she didn't deserve that. It was an incredible performance, but we should have made it 2-0. There were opportunities. They came out. I think United came out better in the second half. I mean, I think in the stands, we were very surprised by Russo scoring at that point. We thought, oh, it's half time now. And then just burst through and you're like, oh my God, she keep going. Is she going to cross it? Oh no, she's just gone for it. And as you can imagine, we were all jumping up and down and very excited. And then we thought in the second half, particularly in the first 15 minutes, it looked like we were going to build, didn't it? And get another goal. But we should be closing out these games, and defensively we've gone from being pretty sound last year. I mean, we conceded 20 goals in the whole season last year, which is 22 games, and we've already conceded 10 in 6 games. And I know Chelsea was one of those, but we've only kept clean sheets against Reading and Birmingham.
Even against City, I think we should have kept a clean sheet.
Yeah, everything was avoidable, but just don't seem to have the right balance within the team. Not making the most of the wingers. The midfield balance is off because we're not playing a proper 6, an 8, and a 10 together like we did last season. And it's very slow at times. I don't know. I'd like to ask you actually, because you were watching it at home. When you were watching it, what did you sort of see in terms of the pace of the playing things? Did it seem slow to you?
Yeah, I think the whole gameplay has been a bit slow when we analyze the football that we played under Casey Stoney and the football that we are playing under Mark Skinner, and the core of the team of this is the same. Barring 3-4 changes, we have the same core of players. I do think the gameplay is a bit slow. The progress of the ball from back to the front is a lot slower than it should be. And like you said, having those two number six or deep lying players in Haley Ladd and Katie Zellum playing together wasn't the thing that we should have done against Spurs. I do think having a player like Vilde Borisa instead of Katie Zellum could have been better. I'm saying drop Katie Zellum just because there are better players in the squad right now, and it's not
Yeah,
an agenda. It's not an agenda at
no,
all. Haley Ladd, like we saw, Victoria. I know that we have talked about it a lot in Twitter comments or in tweets. Haley Ladd should start more. I don't know why she didn't
yeah,
start the earlier games, but we all saw, the fans saw, even Mark Skinner saw, the fans who were at home saw that Haley Ladd brings that extra charm to this team, and I think she's the perfect number six. I don't think Katie Zellum can perform that role alone. And like you said, the football in the midfield was one dimensional. We needed a number eight. We didn't have the number eight on the pitch. Of course, Jackie Groenen is injured, but yeah, I mean, we all know Vilde Borisa came as the signing of the summer. I think
yeah,
I considered her the signing of the summer. She's played a lot. She has the UWCL experience. She has played a lot for a national team as well. She has won titles with the clubs, and I think she has won the Algarve Cup with Norway. So I mean, you have to start Vilde Borisa. How can you drop her to the bench? I just don't understand what's happening.
yeah. No, I know what you mean, because for me, once I mean, we've known since about February time. I think it was Molly Hudson who said it,
Yeah,
on the
Molly
journal.
Hudson said, yeah. I
And
remember.
it was like, oh wow, because technically she could have signed for us because she was out of contract, didn't need to be within a transfer window, and it was like, this could be what we need now to just give us a bit of a lift to help us get over the line for top three. And I started watching the Norway international games, just to get an idea. And she's got a really good range of passing, and she's that sort of player. When you see her on the ball, she looks comfortable. She's not like using the ball like a hot potato. She's not trying to get rid of it. She wants to control it. And I think if you think about it, those two games that I mentioned where we kept clean sheets were when the Reading game, which she started, and the Birmingham game, which she came on in the last 20 minutes, and just gave us that little bit of it just felt a lot more comfortable because she was picking the ball up and she just wasn't panicking. It's like, right, ping, a range of passing, and we've not seen enough of that. I bet, I know the Durham game, that, you can say that wasn't a clean sheet, but that was a really bizarre game because of all the changes. But I think if you put her into the first team in that 8 role with Haley and Tooney in Jackie's absence, that could work really well. And against low block sides, you could leave Haley on the bench and play 2 eights with Jackie and Borisa pulling the strings and interacting with Tooney. And I think that would be perfect. And like you say, when I'm chatting like this, I'm not talking, I have no agenda against any player, but the way I look at it, I like balance within the team. Use your players that you've got right, and you're halfway there, aren't you, to meet your objective, particularly with the strength of the squad we've got. And our wingers, I do believe we've got the most talented wingers in the WSL. I mean, Leah is exceptional. And, why wouldn't you let her just do a thing and run at pace and terrify the defenders, stretch, use the width of the pitch. Kirsty Hansen as well. I think one of the hardest working players you'll ever see. And it must be so frustrating for them. So it's not for a lack of effort. It's just the tactics aren't playing to the strengths.
Yeah, I do agree. And the Vilde Borisa point that you made, she does bring a lot of stability into the starting 11. And I do think, like you said, against low blocks, we could start with Vilde Borisa and Jackie Groenen. Jackie can move ahead, like she can be in an advanced role, and Vilde Borisa can be that holding part. Just not exactly a number six, but staying back if the opposition counter attacks. And I do think when she signed, I read an article which was written by Mia Erickson. We all know Mia
Yeah,
Erickson, amazing work. She wrote an article for, I think, Analytics FC, and she used the software transfer labs to compare, and how Vilde Burisa will
yeah,
fit into this squad. And I remember that she can play as a number 6, she can play as a number 8,
yeah,
and in some circumstances where you don't have a proper central attacking midfielder, she can play that role as well. So I do think when you have a player who's so much versatile, be that kind of player should be in the starting 11. I like I said, I don't really know what's happening.
yeah. I mean, you could argue that she needs time to get used to the physicality of the league, but she's
But
not going to do that unless she plays.
yeah, Vicky, it isn't like she hasn't played well. Of course, she'll take time, but like you said, she needs game time so that player people can assess her. But with the limited game time that she has gotten in the league, I do think she's done a fantastic job. I mean, yes, she hasn't been the breakout star. She hasn't been the one who has shown, but you know, doing the silent work, being a dark knight, that's what really matters.
Yeah,
It's not about the assists and the goals always. It's about how much balance you bring to this team. And like you said, so it's not about the agenda. It's about having that balance in the squad.
definitely. I think we're all on the same page. And I remember that article, and I think what excited me when I read about it was a range of passing. Because I thought, oh, that sounds really good. It sounds like it would complement what we have already and give us different options to play. Um, but I don't know. It is frustrating, isn't it? And I would love to see her. I would imagine we'll see her for City. But unfortunately, I think she'll be on the bench again tomorrow.
I mean, it's sometimes hard to predict the 11. If I'm Mark Skinner, I would start Ville Borisa, but we all know that he will go with the midfield two of Haley Ladd. Of course, Haley Ladd starts now, and Katie Selem. So something that Mark Skinner said about Haley Ladd, and I'm just going to quote Mark Skinner, which was given by Emma Sanders yesterday, and another journalist who's doing an amazing job for women's football. And the quote is, "I thought she was excellent versus Spurs and probably our best player. She was dynamic in the tackle, calm in possession. She's a great reader of the ball. I've been patient and wanted to make sure that she builds into what we want." So, yeah, I mean, I was a bit disappointed when Haley Ladd didn't start the earlier games, but Mark Skinner has, provided a great. I wouldn't say excuse, but the reason she wasn't included into the starting 11 earlier, because he wanted to make sure that she does the role of what Mark Skinner wants from her. So
Thing is, Atanu, I find that a very strange comment he's made because he actually signed Haley at Birmingham
yeah,
and was key to he would. And I found articles where he mentioned her as being key to the system he plays, and he's always played that system.
yeah,
And she actually played in the same team as Mannion at Birmingham, and they were, so obviously Mannion in defence and Haley sat in that role in front of the defence. That was critical to them getting fourth, before he was offered the Pride job. So when I first read about him coming in, I was like, oh, so he's managed Sophie Bagley before, Mannion, Haley Ladd,
Stanford.
and Lucy Staniforth. And I thought, all right, so now you sort of thought, well, I know he's not got the best record at Pride, but the fact that two of his best players at Birmingham, Mannion and Ladd, are there in particular, because I think Lucy Stan signed right before he left. I don't think she worked with him that long compared to the other two. But I thought, oh, that's going to be interesting, isn't it? We've lost Amy T, Mannion's come in, but you've got this link of Mannion and Ladd, which you thought, oh, it's going to make us a bit stronger through that centre. And then he has never played her. I know she had an injury in pre-season because she was supposed to start the Aston Villa game, and then it changed the lineup at the last minute. And when I look back, you could see in the warm up she was barely moving about. So I understood, like say, the Reading game, where she came on, didn't she? Did she come on in the end for that one? I can't remember now.
I don't think she came on. I think she
Was it
came on
Jackie?
in,
It was Jackie, wasn't it?
yeah.
But then she went off and she was fit for Wales, and you thought, well, no excuse not to be playing her now because she's clearly fully fit. And I think if Hayley Ladd had played against Chelsea, we wouldn't have got hammered that way, because we would have had protection through the
Yeah.
middle.
Yeah, I do think when we play Haley Ladd, it gives the freedom to Ona Bhatti and Hannah Blundell to stay up in the pitch, in a more attacking role. And not always. I mean, they do have to track back,
Yeah,
but you do have that extra protection in front of the centre backs. So,
yeah,
I mean,
because she can slot in then, and it's like a
yeah,
back three, isn't it?
yeah, exactly. Like something what Solskjaer did last season in the men's team. Nemanja Matic came into the centre back role with Lindelof and Maguire, and
Yeah,
the two fullbacks were up ahead in the pitch. So the comment made by Mark Skinner yesterday in the press conference, which feels like a betrayal, not exactly a betrayal, but I do think that you get what I'm trying to say.
yeah,
On the performance of the team against Spurs, he said, "I felt there were a few unfair comments. To be honest, when I look at the stats, everything was super comfortable. If you didn't feel that, I'm sure you weren't watching the same game." I mean, how can you use the word super? I mean, yes, if you think we were comfortable, that's fine with me. You're using super comfortable. We weren't super comfortable at all. We were just winning 1-0 and we gave
yeah,
away a last minute equalizer. And that speaks very low of the
yeah.
management and the tactics, I think.
Well, yeah. I mean, you can't use stats to back you up that a 1-1 draw was super comfortable, because it was super comfortable. You would have been winning about 4-5-0. And to be fair, Spurs had some good long range shots. Like if Mary hadn't been sharp like she is, we nearly got caught out 2 or 3 times. Or I remember where I was like, we just like looking at each other in the stands, going, "Oh, that was a bit close." And but you can feel that equaliser coming for like 20 minutes, and you're thinking, what's he going to do now? And then there was a break in play, I think, maybe 10 minutes to go, and Mannion got Maria, and I don't know if it showed on the telly, but Mannion got Maria, and she got Hayley Ladd, and she was like waving her arms around, pointing, basically giving them instructions, because the way we sat back, we just invited them onto us. The best form of defense is attack, and even like the way he changed it, bringing Martha Thomas on to move Leslie out to the right. I mean, I would have even just tried to have made it a bit more attacking and maybe gone 4-4-2, just give them something different to deal with, because they've been blocking everything. Just try and just kill it off, might leave yourself a little bit more open, but it would have created a bit more space to attack, because everything was going centrally and congested, and it was just a fight for the ball, really.
Do you think Spurs were playing a low block? Because I do think they were playing a low block and, they were trying to attack us on the counter. But we do have two good centre backs. So they didn't have many chances. They did take a lot of shots from outside the target, from outside the box,
Yeah,
which were on target. But as I said, we had Mary up. So we were comfortable there. But yeah, I think we gave away a last minute corner or a free kick. I don't actually remember, because when the goal went in, I was shell shocked. What has happened? A 1-1 draw. We were easily winning it. We were going to be in the top three. But,
yeah,
he's getting these chances. He's getting the chance to be in this top three this time, and, do something that hasn't happened in our history before, qualify for the UWCL. City aren't performing well. City were down to 10 players. And, I bring this a lot, and I'm not trying to, say bad things about Skinner, but at the end of the day, he hasn't, you know, it's like it's the opportunity is right there. You just
yeah,
have to get the 3 points. And okay, I get the City game. Okay, fine. They do have good quality, even if their depth isn't that good right now. The the last game, the Spurs game, a 1-1 draw. I don't
Yeah,
know.
we'd beaten Spurs every time. I mean,
Yeah,
the thing is, Atanu, right? The way I view it, um, like you say, I think it's a better opportunity for us to get top three this season than last season because City have been so far off the pace. They were down to 10 men for over a half of the match. And we scored and 4 minutes conceded, 4 minutes later conceded. We've always beaten Spurs. The Chelsea game was the heaviest defeat in our history. And people go, oh, give him, he needs time. But, the new Arsenal manager, I know he was announced a month earlier than Mark Skinner, but he actually took charge of his first game on the 8th of August, the same as Mark. And then he had to go straight into Champions League qualifying. But the difference is he's built on what was already there and come in and reinvigorated players who were struggling like Beth Mead. I wanted Beth Mead in the summer because one of the
everybody
things I
wanted the
say,
two. I think sorry to cut you, but everybody wanted the two bets to come to
the two
United.
Beth, yeah.
Yeah.
But for me, with Beth Mead at that point going into summer, you thought, well, she's missed out on the Olympics. She had a couple of injury-ridden seasons. She needs a change of scene. But he's come in, he's reinvigorated her. Leah Williamson looks a lot happier because she signed the 1-year deal, but you could see she didn't really want to. At that point, she probably wanted to leave. I think Miedemar will probably want to re-sign now. Things are going in the right direction, other than if someone big comes in like Leon. But we only finished 1 point behind them. But in terms of what we've done, we've not took a step up, have we? So it's like there's only so long we can go. Oh, he's new. He's including pre-season, we're 10 games in, and you could argue the football. It started off seeming like it would be fine with more control of the ball and everything. But you could argue the quality is declining as we're going along, and the players are looking increasingly disillusioned.
Yeah, I do think when Skinner came in, I wanted to make that point, but you gave the perfect analogy of the Arsenal manager. He came in and he inherited the squad and used the squad in the same way like the last manager did. So the players didn't have to adapt; they knew what they have to do. And I think I expected Skinner to do something similar: play that number 6, play that number 8, and play that
Yeah.
number 10. Which Casey Stoney rightfully did with I think Jackie Groenen, Healy Ladd, and Everton, the best
Yeah.
midfield trio that we have. I get what he's trying to do, playing from the back and having the some different type of tactics, but he should realize that those tactics aren't working, so he has to try something new. You should have a contingency plan. You should have a backup plan. Uh, I mean, yes, I think you're absolutely right. We can't always say he's new. He's new. It's been 10 games till now, but at the same time, I think I'll give him a few more games and then I'll assess him. And I'm not saying that he's doing brilliantly or he's doing very poorly. I think he's being decent, and we can't be decent. I mean, we have
No.
had two two fourth place finishes, I think, in
Yeah.
the FAWSL, and Casey Stoney did say that it feels like she has it feels like she's disappointed in herself that last season we got fourth position. So we do know that the quality is there. I mean, like I said, we do have the opportunity to get into the top three. Manchester City aren't anywhere near us right now, and hopefully that doesn't happen, and we do have more opportunities. And Skinner does take the advantage of such opportunities. But we keep coming to the Everton game. Jackie Groenen is unavailable. Mark Skinner has said that Millie Turner is training, but she'll also miss some games. Kirsty Smith is fully back. Uh, Jackie Groenen is struggling from a hamstring injury, and Skinner has said that he doesn't want to rush her, which is a good thing because
Yeah.
I do think we shouldn't rush our players. So, with the remaining players that we have, how do you think the starting 11 would look like tomorrow?
I think he'll go the same as he did for Spurs. I don't think he'll make any changes.
So, Mary Earps, Ona
Yeah,
Bhatia, Hannah Blundell,
yeah,
Aoife Mannion, Maria Torres-Daughter, Hayley Ladd, Katie Zellem, Leah Gorton, Ella Toone, Kirsty Hansen, and Alessia Russo. I do think I'll go with the same prediction of the starting 11. I want Vilde Borisa to start, but I do think he'll stick with Katie Zellem. So hopefully that pays off. Just fingers crossed, because we want United to win to get the 3 points. So now coming to Everton, Vicky. Everton dismissed our favorite Willie Kirk during the international break. Uh, I think he's a Manchester United fan from the heart, because I do think he was the assistant coach to Casey Stoney in 2018, I think,
yeah,
when the team
yeah.
was.
He started, didn't he? And then he got the offer of Everton, and then
Yeah,
I'd heard he just sort of disappeared. He just went, and that was it. And
yeah.
everyone, so there was a lot of bad blood there.
But he was working for us, because against us he does not have a good record.
Yeah, yeah. It used to feel like you could guarantee. You could look at Everton and go, "Yeah, that's 6 points guaranteed for the season." I mean, the thing is now they have bought a lot of good players, but I would say that there were probably a couple of seasons off getting, a squad that is top three level. There's only so much you can do in one summer. And you're
But
talking about they nearly got relegated, didn't they? I think when he took over.
I don't actually remember, but I do think that whatever was the reason, I do think with the score that he had, he should have done better. I know UWCL football isn't easy. It isn't easy at all to get into the top three. Last season we just missed out from a point or two, so that does tell you how close it gets. But I do think Everton did the right thing dismissing him off. I wanted him to stay for this game. I won't
Yeah,
lie, but yeah, I think they have made a good appointment in Jean-Luc Vasseur. Uh, from whatever I know about him, the only thing that I know about him is that he won the French League and the UWCL with Lyon in 2019-2020. Lyon, I think the pronunciation is Lyon.
yeah,
Yeah, sorry.
yeah. I think with him, he sort of it's going to be different for him with Everton because at Lyon he inherited a side that had won so many consecutive leagues and Champions Leagues, and it's like the team with the biggest budget in women's club football. Apparently, they operate on about 10 million euros a year, which is like so much higher than a lot of teams. So, and then obviously when he got sacked, Leon, that was the first time they'd not won the Champions League for many years. I can't remember exactly how many. And the first time they'd not won the league, and they got lost out to PSG. So some people have questioned his skills based off that. And it's very different coming into a side like Everton, where you've not got them world-class players. They bought some, which, I mean, Hannah Bennison, she's like a highly rated world-class talent. They've got a couple of the Swedish players, haven't they, who, are experienced internationals who, when they settle, should do very well. But then they bought some, like sort of WSL level players, which I don't think would necessarily get into Arsenal, Chelsea, or City. So it's going to take them a while to get that right. But typically with a new manager, you don't know what you're going to get, do you, when you play them? Sometimes they can come in and you get the new manager bounce. I mean, they beat Leicester, didn't they? And then they lost to Brighton, who, to be fair, I think Brighton are a dark horse for the Champions League because Hope Hell's doing a magnificent job there with the resources that she's got. But going away to Everton and their pitch, it's always a very scruffy game. never see any beautiful football played at Walton Hall Park, because essentially it's literally a park. It's like a Sunday league football ground. And that was, that's a conversation I had with someone who's an Everton season ticket holder for the men's. He basically said that Walton Hall Park, it's literally a park with a stand for fans to sit in. Which really, if you've got top three ambitions, you need a better home ground than that. I think the new manager said he liked to be surprised. He'd not done much research on Everton. I'm sure he was very surprised when he turned up there, and it's literally a park with people walking the dogs and people playing on the like the soccer, like the different fields around it. Thinking, okay, this is not quite Leon, but I don't know what to expect tomorrow, if I'm honest, Atanu. You don't that Mark Skinner's taken, if he perceives it as being unfair comments, shows that you've got something more to give with the team. Let's see it on the pitch. This grit he talks about. Let's finish our chances properly.
Yeah, absolutely. I do think let's change from super comfortable to ultra comfortable against Everton. Let's do that. Let's win. Let's get a clean sheet, which is very important, because I do think Marriott's and the centre backs and the full backs and the team as a whole deserve to get a clean sheet. But for the morale of the defense and the goalkeeper, it's very vital to get that clean sheet. And sometimes I do feel bad for Marriott's, because she's doing everything that she can, and you can't really blame her for the goals that United concede as a team. So hopefully we'll get a clean sheet, 3 points. And the final thing that I want to say is that United are going to Everton this time. And when Everton come to play Manchester United next time, they'll be playing at the Theatre of Dreams at the Old Trafford in front of the fans. It will be the first time that the women's team, the Manchester United women's team, plays at the Old Trafford in front of the wonderful fans that we have who go to the stadium. Last time we played against West Ham, we won 2-0. I think Lauren James scored the first goal and Kristen Press scored the second goal. And for the second goal, our very own Jackie Groenen got the assist. So last season we played against West Ham, but it was a behind the closed doors game because of COVID. But this time, 27th March 2022, 12 p.m. BST kickoff. Be there, get the tickets as soon as they go out on sale. I mean, it's the international break for the men's team. You don't really have an excuse. You're a Manchester United fan, and Manchester United isn't just about the men's team. It has the women's team, it has the academy. And this time, the women's team will be playing at the Old Trafford on 27th March 2022. Save the dates, get the tickets as soon as they go out on sale. Unfortunately, I'll not be there. It's heartbreaking that I'm not there, but hopefully one day we'll get to see United play at Old Trafford regularly with a lot of crowd, with a lot of attendance. So, Vicky, how excited are you to be going to Old Trafford to watch women's team this time?
I'm very excited about it. I know, like, some people start analysing things in the nth degree, but I just think, how amazing is it going to be for our players to walk out at Old Trafford with fans? I know it was a good experience for them to be in and around Old Trafford. And it's probably a good dress rehearsal to know how it works game day at Old Trafford. But can you just imagine them walking through the tunnel and just like going out? I mean, there'll be some butterflies in your stomach, won't there, when you first come out? But I just think it's an important marker in the history, isn't it? And, like you say, you want to see as many people come out and support it, even if they've never watched the women's team before. Because I think if some people gave it a chance, they'd be surprised how enjoyable women's football is. And there's some really top class players, and we've got exciting wingers, and we've got Tooney, we've got Russo, we do have a good team. It's been built in the traditions of a proper Manchester United team. So I just think it'll be, for us as fans as well, the ones who go to LSV, we're going to be in that, we're going to be in, be able to sing and, take over Old Trafford. Natalie, she'll be she'll be there, getting us all going, and the flags will be up, and then the girls can just do their stuff, because to me, even if they play at Old Trafford once or twice a year, it's as much their home as the men's team. They play for Manchester United. That badge is Manchester United, on the shirt they wear every week. So I just want everyone to come and make a day of it. And I think, I know you can't come this time at Anu, but hopefully another time, as I've said to other people, come and, join in, because to me, you're all as much a part of it as any of us. And I often get caught on the cameras looking at my phone at halftime, like I did the other day. And that's because I'm chatting to like Namrata and different people who are watching it around the world, and I want to see what they're thinking of it all. Because as a fan base, it isn't just about the people who go to the grounds, it's all of us who support the girls and put all that love and energy, sound like Mark Skinner. But we put so much into it, and I would love us to get to a point where we break the attendance record in March. And then even if which was I think about 39,000, was the North London derby,
Yeah, I think at the Chelsea ground, I think Stamford Bridge, if I'm not wrong.
So I just look at it and think, let's break the attendance record. Let's get 40+ thousand there. And you want to see some more people come over to LSV. Let's get that packed out and keep breaking all the records. And, even though we've not been around as long as all the other teams, it's Manchester United. And, we're here to take over. We're not just here to take part. We want to take over the league with our fans, with our team, getting Champions League and winning trophies. So hopefully that in March will take us up a level in terms of support.
Yeah, I think, first of all, thank you, Vicky, for whatever you said, that United fan base isn't just the fans who go to the stadium, it's the whole, we are the global Reds. So that's really nice that you said that. I am as much as a part of the team as you are. So thank you for saying that. And I do think when supporters actually go to the stadium, go to Old Trafford, watch the team, some percentage of those fans will come back to the LSV. And I guarantee that, because this team is pretty special. I know we haven't been playing our best football right now, but come March, we will be at our A game. We will be in the contention for the top 3 spot, and hopefully, just hopefully, the title race as well. So there's this tweet that I was searching for, and I looked at it, and it says, it's by Jamie Spencer. He says that there's an argument in women's football that clubs should aim to fill their smaller usual stadiums first, which I do agree with. But I want United women's team to play at Old Trafford as well, because it's the theater of dreams. I mean, who wouldn't want to play at the theater of dreams? So he also says that, but if Man United properly push and market that Everton game, thousands more than normal will come up and hope that there is a percentage of those who would keep going back to Lee. I think the correct pronunciation is Lee.
Lee, yeah.
So Vicky, you stay near Lee, so you
would be. I live in Lee.
Yeah,
I'm from a place called Wigan, but I live in Lee. So Lee Sports Village is literally a 5-minute walk down the road for me. But yeah, I mean, people sort of criticize the smaller grounds and it's not easy to get to. But if the Old Trafford game does well, the club should just put on some coaches from Old Trafford. Charge people maybe £5, something like that. Pick up points, park and drive.
Yeah. That's something that I've heard that should be happening. Because getting to Lee isn't difficult, but still people are a bit lazy who would go to Lee, because it's a bit far. So I do think when you have coaches who or buses, like in India we say, so those buses can take you from the Old Trafford Stadium to the LSV, and that would be fantastic, and that would be start of something special. More and more fans would be coming.
Yeah, just make it easier. The club just needs to make it easier, because they'll make the money back. if they even subsidise those buses, because get them to Lee Sports Village, and I'm sure they can sell us other things while up there. But to be fair to Lee Sports Village, it's a great pitch, and it is a good level of stadium. It wouldn't have been picked up for the Euros if it wasn't. It is. You're never going to get a postponement at Lee Sports Village. It's a really nice pitch for the girls to play on. It's nice and clean and fairly new. It's not something run down and things. But we, like you say, we want to fill it. Let's show what a full Lee Sports Village sounds like.
Sorry, I was on mute, but yeah, I do agree with that. And hopefully, we'll get the 3 points tomorrow when we are traveling to Everton. And the next time they come back to Old Trafford, the atmosphere will be fantastic. And even if I'm watching on telly, the minute the team walks down the tunnel into the stadium, the fans will be buzzing, and the atmosphere. I mean, I just want to see a good amount of fans coming to Old Trafford, supporting the team, and hopefully all the new fans that are coming to Old Trafford, coming back to LSV regularly for the games that come after the Old Trafford game. And maybe in the future, we will see United women play regularly at the Theatre of Dreams. So that's the main aim. So thank you so much, Vicky, for coming on the channel. It's been fantastic talking to you about everything related to Manchester United. Any parting words that you might have?
I would say just thanks for having me, Atanu, and I've got everything crossed that we win tomorrow. It's always nice to beat Everton.
Yeah, of course, Willie Kirk isn't there, but maybe Jean-Luc Vasseur is also a United fan, and we might see the 3 points tomorrow. So thank you for tuning in. I hope you like this video. If you do, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Press on that bell icon to not miss any updates. And do follow us on our Instagram and Twitter handles. Do follow Vicky on her Twitter. We'll add the link in the description. Until then, thank you. Keep supporting women's football. Keep supporting Manchester United. Glory, glory, Man United.